Welcome, One EXP family. We're here with a special guest who is the founder of MasterTalk. He coaches ambitious executive and entrepreneurs to become the top 1% communicators in their industry. He also has a popular YouTube channel called MasterTalk with the goal of providing free access to communication tools for everyone around the world. Brenden Kumarsamy not only is a great friend, and thank you so much for this time that you're taking to provide this knowledge and wisdom and help for communication to our agents and our staff over here at eXp Realty. Our goal here at One eXp Realty is to have diversity, inclusion, and equity. So, what does that mean? We need better communication, and what more better way to have the founder of Master Talk here, talking about why it's so important for communication. Welcome, Brendan.
Harjit, the pleasure is absolutely mine. Thanks for having me today.
My pleasure. That the first question: why is it important? Why is it important to you, Brendan, for communication? And can you tell us a little bit about who you are?
Yeah, absolutely, Harjit. So, quick story about me. So, my journey started when I was in college. I went to business school, and my role in life, my mission was not to become a coach or to be in speaking. It was to be an accountant, funny enough. So, that's what I studied in. And then while I studied these numbers, I competed in these things called case competitions, Harjit. Think of it like professional sports, but for nerds. So while other guys my age are playing rugby or baseball or basketball, I wasn't really one of those guys. So I
Mhm.
did presentations competitively. That's how I learned how to speak. And then as I got older, I started coaching many students who then later became executives. And that's what led to Master Talk because I felt a lot of the information about communication isn't really widely available for free. So I started
Mhm.
making YouTube videos, and then it later turned into a coaching business where we serve a lot of executives and entrepreneurs and agents too on how to become great speakers. So that's the where I am part. The other part is why is communication important? So there's a couple of layers to that piece, Harjit. The first one is it's relevant to all of us. Why is that? Because it improves the quality of our life, full stop. It's the way that we raise our children. It's the way that we make new friends. It's the way that we talk to our family. So for me, the question has always been, how would the world change, or rather, how would your life change if you became an exceptional communicator? Because it impacts every area of your life. And then the last part to that, and I'll throw it back to you, Harji, is how does it affect both the staff side and the agent side at EXP? So more so on the agent side, but also important on the staff side. What I always like to tell real estate agents is the gap between a top 1% producer in our industry and a top 10% producer in our industry is communication. It's public speaking. It's the ability to convey an idea because a lot of that business is relationship based. So
Mhm.
if you're prospecting a client and you're asking them questions and you're going, I don't really know, you're not conveying the confidence to the prospect that, wait a second, this is the person I should be giving my commission check to. So communication also helps us grow our businesses in this space.
So it fills that gap that most agents will have. So this type of training, this type of awareness of having that communication is to fill in that gap of I can communicate with you, I can answer your questions, I can serve you and impact your life, and therefore you will get that business coming to you, and now you're differentiated between becoming the 1% compared to being the 50th percent.
Absolutely. Well said.
That's great. Oh, that is great, Brendan, because this is so important. So can how can we learn one tip right now today for that gap as an agent or a staff member for a globally run company?
Absolutely hard. I'll do even better. I'll give you three. So
Okay.
for me, for me, the question has always been, right, when it comes to communication. Communication is like juggling 18 balls at the same time, right, Harshit?
Yeah.
Because one of those balls is eye contact, one of them is smiling, one of them is body
Mhm.
language, storytelling, and the list goes on. So for me, the question has always been, what are the three easiest balls to juggle in the air?
Mm.
The three easiest balls. I call them my easy threes. Because if we work on that, whether we're on the staff side or the agent side at EXP, we can level up our communication skills really rapidly. So let's go through those easy threes. Number one, the random word exercise. So the random word exercise is really simple, Harji. Take a word like glasses, like hair, like curtains, like shelf, like home, random words, and create presentations out of thin air on the spot. Why is this relevant? Why is it important to the people at EXP? Really simple, Harji. The reason is because it helps you deal with uncertainty. Life is filled with it. I'm sure a lot of us on the agent side, we've been a part of client conversation that we didn't really expect because we think it's all about business. And then they bring up different areas of their life that you didn't really expect. Oh, okay, this is happening in their personal life. And I don't know how to deal with this. I don't know how to respond to that. Or a client who you sold a home to might invite you to a private dinner with 10 of their family members. Like, oh, I didn't prepare for this conversation either. So life is filled with uncertainty. So for me, the philosophy has always been if we can do the harder thing, life becomes easier. So if you can talk about avocados for 30 seconds, you can deal with any client interaction. Right?
Much to say about avocados.
Right. And that's really the key is when we practice the harder thing, Harjeet, everything becomes easier. So for me, the point here for exercise number one is if we can make sense out of nonsense, we can make sense out of anything. And that's exercise one of three.
Oh, I love that. If you can make sense out of nonsense, you can make sense out of anything. That's great, Brenden.
Absolutely, Harjeet. So that's number one.
Hmm.
Number two is the question drill. As agents, we get asked questions all the time in our life, all the time. When we're with clients, when we're being asked about the location of the home, the amenities of the home, what the price is looking at, what the range is looking at, we're always getting thrown questions down our way. But most of us, Harjeet, are reactive to those questions. We're not proactive. So what's the consequence of that? When we're reactive and somebody asks a brand new question, it catches us off guard. We go, and that creates a lack of credibility in front of the client. But there's an easy way to fix this. And this is what I believe the top 1% of producers in any industry do is they apply the question drill, which is simply this. Every single day for 5 minutes, answer one question that you think the world will ask you about your expertise. Where do you think the future of the New York real estate market is going, or the Atlanta market, or any other country that you're in? Those questions, if you just answer one of them a day for 5 minutes a day for a year, Harjeet, you'll have answered 365 questions about your location, your industry, your business, your expertise. You'll be bulletproof. And that's exercise number two, the question drill.
That's amazing. The bullet drill. Yeah, it's like you're already prepping for the day. You already have it, and it's like if you read a page a day, you read 365 pages. So that's your page every day to read is pick that one thing or those three things that you want to talk about or learn about in your industry. Like,
Absolutely right. And that's why you're so good at asking questions because you practice some of this. You're doing a lot of interviews with people, you're asking them questions. That's where you're a lot more confident, not just in the interviews, but also when you're with clients. And that's what makes all the difference. Which brings us to number three, that I'm sure we talk about all the time in the real estate space, but I'm going to give a different edge to it. So the third one is to simply send video messages, right? Video messages to clients, video messages to friends, to family. Why is that? Because A, it helps you practice being on camera, but more importantly, it helps you build a deeper relationship with the client. I'll give an example of what I do with my client base that people can learn from. I have all of their birthdays on a CRM in my calendar, and I know on their day or on that date, I need to send them a birthday video message. And I put like a $5 birthday hat on, and they love it because it's about the relationship. And that's how you really build a book of business. And a lot of people listening to this, Harjit, they go like, what if I'm not perfect? What if the lighting isn't right? Here's the game. The game is most people in the space don't even send a video at all So it's a binary idea here. It's not about saying how do we send the best video. It's more of a yes or no question. Are we sending a video consistently to our clients or no? And for most people in our industry, the answer is actually no. And that's also true in the sense of personalization. We see agents do this all the time. Whenever somebody closes a house, they just buy them a bottle of champagne, the same bottle of champagne that they buy for every single client that they close that year. Versus taking that extra 20 minutes to listen to the customer, to listen to the prospect and say, oh yeah, we're moving to this house, Harjeet, because there's a new yoga studio that my wife wants to go to every week. So instead of gifting them a bottle of champagne, all you have to do, and it's also cheaper, is you gift them a yoga mat. You gift them yoga equipment and say, hey, I'm really excited for your new house and for your new yoga routine. And that's really how you stand out from the pack, and it's not hard to do.
No, it's not hard to do. You're absolutely right on that. And what that does is you really it's not a it shows you this business is not a cookie cutter. You can't have 20 champagne bottles and say, "Here you go." You can, but it's not really going to differentiate you because every other real estate agent might be doing that. But now this person, this client of yours felt heard because you've listened to them and you know exactly what they like or what they might like, and based on your conversations with them. So, those are three great tips: random word exercise, ask a question every day, and video, video messaging. So,
Absolutely.
this is some great tips that Brendan has set for all of us here at One EXP and EXP Realty. This is amazing, Brendan. Again, thank you for giving this time to us. And if you want to learn more about communication, you can go to Master Talk on YouTube and take a look at Brendan's videos. And he also every month gives twice a month he gives free coaching calls, group coaching calls. So I'll put that link below when we're done with the video. I will put that link below so you can click on that. And if you want to learn more from Brendan, you can definitely learn more from him, absolutely at no cost. And you will find great value out of it because Brendan is absolutely he is a master at what he does. Hence, Master Talk. So now why do we mention this? Why am I mentioning this here? Because here we are a global company. We are a global company. We have I think about 18 countries that we have not only agents, but we do have staff. So a huge corporation like us, you can imagine, and we have 86,000 agents. 86,000 agents that not only speak differently, we all have different dialects, different languages. We may speak English, but our English language is different as well, which is why it's so important for all of us to communicate in harmony. And I believe that the Brendan is actually one of the very few people who can help us communicate in such a way where we can actually talk in that harmony. So, Brendan, what is it that you do to you in your free courses?
Absolutely, Harjeet. And the pleasure is absolutely mine. And thanks so much for shining a light on this important topic for your community, right? Because if they don't master communication, it's hard for them to really push to that next level of the growth that they want to see for themselves.
Right.
So yes, for the training, what we do is every month, to your point, twice a month, we do a free communication webinar. And essentially how it works is you come to the workshop, it's a 90-minute call. We teach you a bunch of fun ideas around communication to really level up your game. Communication goal setting, which isn't really taught publicly. So you can learn that for free on that call. You're going to learn how to run really effective 10 out of 10 meetings and a couple more daily exercises on how to practice communication. And it's absolutely free and it's live training. So it's not a recorded webinar. It's one that you're really actively participating in. But if you're more introverted, you can turn off your camera too. But you'll get to see me applying all of those tips live on a Zoom.
And it's fun. It's interactive and fun. And not to mention, Brendan has clients throughout the globe. So he has that experience of helping people from different countries speak and communicate at a higher level. that makes sense. And so definitely click on that link, join in, feel free to join in. But why did you choose communication as your your business, as your business to help others and impact others? Because you're definitely doing an amazing job at it.
Thanks, Harsh. And so are you, right? I'm lucky to have friends like you who are always advocating for others and growing. That's why you're doing so well in the real estate business, right? That's why you're a leader within this organization. So incredible to see that. So yeah, for me, Harjeet, what I always like to say is I didn't choose communication. In many ways, communication chose me,
Mm.
right? My path was the opposite of what any normal communication professional would take. I have a bachelor's degree that I graduated in accounting.
Mhm.
So when you think of communication, you don't think of an accountant. So
Mhm.
that was my goal. I wanted to be a CPA. That was my mission. But in that journey, when I was doing these case competitions and I started doing well at them, I just saw it as my responsibility to help everyone else with speaking because they couldn't afford a coach and there was no other alternative besides me. So I just started helping everyone. And that's what led to wait a second. Then I started looking on YouTube and I realized nobody was sharing this advice for free. I said, what about the people who are just getting started? They might not be able to afford a service like this. So that's what sparked the idea for MasterTalk, Karchi. But even then, it still wasn't, oh, I'm going to do communication full time. I was a management consultant. I was working at IBM as a full time,
Mhm.
technology guy there. So I wasn't really looking to jump ship. I was just making videos for fun. But to your point, what happened in many ways is a lot of people wanted access to me. They wanted access to more information. I realized it was actually my calling, not just a hobby.
Okay.
Ended up going full time on it.
That is great. It chose you. You didn't choose it, and it goes to show, because accounting and communications. No, we don't think of a communication when we think of accounting. So that is a great story and a great way to think about as an agent. You chose this business, but what part of this business is choosing you? Think about that. And thank you again, Brenden, for showing us these 3 tips. And again, meet Brenden this month and next month, or whatever months you're available, by clicking on the site that. What is your site actually? So put it down.
Absolutely, Harjit. Happy to put that down. So the
Mhm.
website is simply rockstarcommunicator.com. So that's rockstarcommunicator.com.
Definitely rock. Go to this website and sign up. Thank you again, One EXP, for allowing us this time and this platform to show you how to better communicate with your clients and your coworkers.
Thanks, team.